Hi, everybody. Welcome. Finally, we are here, Mirre, Maral, me, Marina. We were trying to make a life, but sometimes forces, when you want to bring something really good to the world, there are forces that don't want you to, but we keep on trying. So we decide to, instead of going live on Instagram, do this video to tell you, uh, guys, what are we going to do the 15th of November? We're going to do a very special retreat, 1 day retreat. And the whole idea started very long ago, but it took form after we came back from holidays, from the summer holidays. Personally, in the holiday, I was really calm. I think, like everybody, more or less, when you have enough time to come back to yourself and to come back to who you truly are, you can settle in a certain energy of just being. And that was a very beautiful experience during this last holiday in Portugal, 6 weeks. So I really had the time to come back to myself, basically, with all that that means. Coming back here to the Netherlands, immediately started to trigger my head to go into the future, in the past, to not be able to be in the present anymore, to not be able to feel anymore, sometimes even what I really want, because there is a dislocation between heart and body and mind and what you feel, what you think, what you have to do. So together with Mirre and Maral, we decided to bring back something of that very special thing of being in the present, to bring it back here to the Netherlands in the middle of the daily life. And I would like now to introduce you to Maral. And hello, Maral. Thank you.
Hello, hi. Yeah, no, I think exactly you put your finger right on it. I think those feelings you described, that stillness you feel, that feeling of becoming realigned, is exactly why we decided to do this retreat and to do it in November because, you can feel so present and have that embodied wellness when you're in that holiday space, which is so healing, by the way, because we're wired to heal. And we often tap into that natural intelligence when we're on holiday. We feel connected to our beingness, we're less in our heads, like you were describing. But it's also so surprisingly easy for us to just lose that once we're back in our, especially Northern European pace and routines and all these things we've got to manage. All three of us are mums. So our body mind needs a reminder of that state of deep calm and realignment, and to be given a unique time and space for it to be called home into that again. But many of us can't you just go on holiday like this whenever we want, and maybe not in mid-November. So and perhaps when we're starting to really need it, it's getting darker, etc. So that's why a 1 day immersive retreat is we all felt right that it's perfect for this, and we feel this, but also the science says this too. Many studies show that short retreats can be so effective at releasing stress, anxiety, and even inflammation, that physical stuff, and can improve your quality of sleep, your mental, your physical well-being for weeks afterwards as well. So it's not just that day. You experience it afterwards when you choose to give yourself that unique time and space. And of course, we do need that time and space, but we also need a certain know-how of how to drop into that healing space within and reconnect with that inner presence. And actually, sound is one of the quickest ways to literally move us that vibration of our cells, of our body into that space. And I feel so lucky because we have Mirre working with Marina, myself and Mirre, the three of us are doing this together. And she does this beautiful work with sound, with voice, with vibration. Mirre, could you tell us about what you do and what you're going to be doing on the retreat?
Yeah, thank you, Maral. Yeah, so sound is a very quick way for the body to resync into that state of beingness that you've been talking about. Because it really works, as you say, on the cellular level. So sound vibrates all the cells within. We're made mostly out of water. And we know that vibration resonance works on water. So you can imagine what that does in a water body as ours. And this is already works very well with using singing bowls, for example, or other instruments from the outside, which I use in the workshop, and percussion instruments that work really deep into the body, also in the bones. But imagine if you can use your own voice to move things in the body. And yeah, that's what we're going to do on that day. So using our own voices to really connect back to ourselves. We're going to move and breathe from certain parts of the body. I will use the scale of chakras, so the energetical points in the body. And we're going to discover what's going on there. We do store a lot of tension in there and emotions. So it might be, yeah, it's intense also for the body. Things might come up. And then we're learning to just be with that and create space for that and directly release it. It's a really, yeah, fast and effective way to just create space for certain feelings, give voice to it, and release it in that way. So, and actually, I should say what I come from, a little bit about who I am. I've studied Latin American music in the conservatory, and which was a beautiful journey. And I still do that on stage, but I've always, from the beginning, felt like singing is so much more than singing beautifully on a stage. And of course, you share a beautiful energy with that. But I felt that, yeah, it goes so much deeper. So I've been on a journey to investigate that for myself with different teachers. I've worked a lot with the Lichtenberger method, which is a really a method with a Taoistic approach, actually. So you detach a little bit of the result that your voice gives you while singing, and you take a step back and you observe that, and you observe what's going on in the mind while you sing long notes, and learn to feel less responsible for what's coming out. And then you see that the body by itself just starts to sing much more coherently, much more beautiful. The body starts to feel more comfortable in singing. So I take that into my workshops. And also I'm just finishing my studies as a yoga teacher, 500 hours training. And in that Hatha yoga style, there's a lot of work with energy, and that I use in my classes as well. So yeah, it's a little bit about me. And Marina, I'm curious about you.
Yes, thank you, Mirre.
You.
Thank you. Well, my story started like I'm trying to make it as short as possible because it started very young when I studied theater in Argentina. And I started to read also shamanistic books. And I immediately saw a coherence between the shamanism and the art of performance. I didn't know why at the time. I didn't know why. I just couldn't make it, but I saw that being on stage and on stage and being a shaman or following the shaman path was actually the same steps. Through the years, I decided to go more and more into the subtle energies. So I started my path of studying the subtle energies, studying therapeutic touch. From there on, I also study Akashic readings, a little bit of astrology, and a technique with crystal that raises the frequency. At the end of the road, which is not the end, is still in the middle of the road of learning, I realized that everything what I do has to do with bringing the soul to the body. And that's what I saw back then when I was studying theater with the shamanism and the theater is that actually this life is a performance of the soul. And when the soul is guiding the performance, so to say, then we are aligned and then we are in contact with our wisdom and our higher self. And when the soul is disconnected, then we are like puppets, without just running around, without guidance. So everything what I do in many different forms is something that helps to bring your own contact with your own soul and your own wisdom. For that, I use nowadays a system to bring you into a very deep state of meditation without experience, which is kind of similar to what Maral does with her technique. Can you tell us, Maral?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and more specifically a solution-focused hypnotherapist. And I'm going to talk about that in a second, actually. But as you were speaking, I was thinking, oh, it's really, really interesting because I actually studied anthropology. So my degrees were as anthropologist, and I wrote essays on shamanism, and then later on, my life took me into performance as a dancer. So it really resonates with me what you're saying, and that the soul journey. I often in the hypnotherapy I say something like, we're here playing the game of life. So I really like that resonance. So, and the hypnotherapy developed also out of this healing what gets built up through our lives if we don't live very consciously. So basically what I do is I support people to get clear about what they want and make their changes happen by transmitting that information to the subconscious, because often we can have ideas but they stay in the conscious mind, and then there's conflict between the conscious and the subconscious. The subconscious has its plan based on our experiences, our relationship, our traumas, and sometimes it can block us. And it's doing it to help us. It's a protector, but we need to really figure out how to speak to the subconscious mind in a language that it can understand. Just like, for example, a dog, you cannot just speak words. You have to transmit what you want in a way that it can understand. Our primitive mind, which is our animal mind, needs the same kind of thing. So I help that transmission of information and release patterns that are not serving us. There's this whole process, the entering into trance state. And similar to what Marina said, you don't need any experience to enter. That's the nice thing. You don't have to learn to meditate. Somebody guides you in a nice way to bring you to that place where you can transmit this information that you've already thought about, because that's part of what we do in the work, in the retreat. And it's really empowering because you learn how to communicate with your subconscious. So that's what I'm going to be doing at the retreat, helping people get clear, focus their intentions, and come home to their power in a really nice way, which is super relaxing and really energizing at the same time, because you do come home and shine out what the fullness of you and the connected, the wholeness of you.
Yeah. And who wouldn't want to be energized and in their power, like you're saying, and shine again as we're all meant to. So, but most of us, feel overstimulated by this world. So this is really a beautiful retreat for you if you feel overstimulated by life. Or maybe if you're going to through a transition, which is like a mourning process, right? Can be wanting to let go of an old identity, or letting go of an old identity, letting go of a relationship or a job, or kids moving out of the house. Yeah, there's so many transitions in life that we feel that we lose ourselves and our rootedness. So yeah, I can really recommend this retreat if you feel like you could use some help to come back to your power, which in the end you do yourself. But yeah, I think we can create a beautiful, safe space for you to take back your own power and grow your own roots again, or connect to them again, and feel energized. Yes.
Yes, this is completely true what you're saying, because actually we tested it ourselves. We
Yeah.
did for ourselves a 1 day retreat to each other, and it was amazing. Even though I believe in what we do, and I believe in you girls, because I know you are really powerful girls that really know what you're doing and you're really good at your thing. Even then, I didn't realize how big it was and how good it was, how strong. We came in the middle of the life, like things to do, and we just schedule, like in between things, this couple of hours to give a try out. So we came at really in the head, the three of us. It was amazing. And when we were following the steps first, Maral with talking to the subconscious, like you explained better than me, Maral, like talking to your mind, then through the sounds and vibration of you, Mirre, and at the end, this deep meditation. When we came out, we were floating. And it was amazing. I don't know how it was for you. Maybe you can tell also your experience.
Yeah, I love the experience. Exactly as you described, and with Mire, there was some major somatic clearing that happened, and I've also found it so connecting. And Marina, I felt, I mean, I can't even describe where I journeyed to, but when I opened my eyes, I felt so light and at the same time really grounded. And so it was a really very positive feeling for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And Maral, you brought us in starting the session in a deep state of rest and safety, which is a beautiful way to start that retreat day. You bring so much safety already in the way you speak while you're guiding us in that deep hypno. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah.
And I just wanted to say also that I think, as someone who likes things to feel really all-rounded, what I really love about this retreat and working together is that it works on these different levels. So it works on the cognitive level, on the somatic level, and on the energetic level, and of course, even higher in the soul. So it is clearing and integrating our mind, body, and spirit, and it feels so complete. I think that's why it felt so good, because it just felt so complete as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And we were dreaming about this for already a long time, some years, that we feel that we have to do something together. And I think this is an agreement that we have already from a long time ago.
Yes, and now we're
That,
finally doing it.
yes. So yes, I'm really thankful that for you that and for us that we could make this time, make this happen. And I really want to invite you all to come if you feel like you can use a pause in the middle of the life to recover this essence of being, the essence of just being in contact with yourself. It is simple said, but it is big at the same time. It's both. It is big, enormous, and it's a very simple thing. If you feel that you are lost somehow, this can really be key to bring you back to your path. And everybody knows, I think, that when you are on your path, you just feel great and things start to happen in a magical way around you, and everything around you just make a conspiracy so it goes good with you, so you can achieve what you have to achieve, you can do what you have to do, and all in joy and happiness, and not in the stress of the cortisol, but really receiving energy from what you do instead of losing energy in what you have to do. This is the way we should all live our lives. And when we cannot live our lives like this on a daily basis, at least we need to take care of ourselves a couple of times a year to recover the energy and to raise our frequency. This is very important, also not to get sick physically. So I really invite you, and if you want more information, please check in our bios. Each of us in the bio has a link, or just contact us, send us a message and ask whatever you want to ask. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you, girls.
Thank you, Marina. Yes, so looking forward to see the two of you and all of you who are going to come to our retreat the 15th of November in Nesselande.